voice isn't that bad, but it's feeling very sore.
Not far from it.
Not far from it. So this is kind of a WrestleMania post-show thoughts. I'm sure we'll do the 30 Days of Mania video somewhere down the line. But
something in depth.
Yeah.
Because we can't say everything we have in our mind now.
You know, we can talk. I mean, WrestleMania, it was awesome. Unreal, surreal, all the reels. It was up and down, and probably, you know, the most shocking moment in WrestleMania history, The Undertaker.
And we got to be there.
Losing his streak, 21-1. Unbelievable. And then probably one of the greatest victories in WrestleMania history when Daniel Bryan beat Triple H clean in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, and then made Batista tap out in the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, we pretty much saw live the greatest underdog story since Rocky, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But, yeah, I mean, it was surreal. What do you want to say about your initial thoughts?
Like, I don't even know what to say. Like,
My Arizona grape aid.
The thing is, with the Undertaker matches, is like, yeah, everybody looks forward to it, but the crowd was silent and stuff because everybody just expects him to win anyways.
I think also it was a slow match.
It was, yeah, especially in the beginning, because it was mainly just them.
Because his matches have gotten, from around like 23, 24, they started getting like really special, like when he wrestled Edge, and then Shawn Michaels, and then Shawn Michaels again, and then Triple H, and those were slow matches, but there was like, you know, it was Triple H, and there was...
Yeah, so you were kind of like, well,
yeah,
if someone's going to beat him now, it should be Triple H.
But I'm just talking about how the matches were, like Triple H is great at wrestling a kind of story-based match. Brock Lesnar's not good at doing story-based matches, he's just good at being a beast. And
well, he wasn't even the one doing the story.
Yeah, and so...
Heyman was.
Here we just had kind of a slow, sluggish...
The match, for me, was set in stone. There was no way that Brock Lesnar would win. No way in hell. Like...
I would have bet money on it.
Yes. I would have been... No, there was no way that he would win. So I was excited to see Undertaker wrestle. I was disappointed that it had to be with Brock Lesnar because I never liked him anyways, and now I like him even less. And then he does the tombstone, and Brock Lesnar kicks out. And I'm like, really? This is getting old. It's happened 6 years in a row now?
It was getting old, yeah.
It was getting old, and I'm thinking, oh, you know what? Shawn Michaels kicking out, fine. Completely fine with that. Triple H kicking out, well, I guess he has to because it's Triple H, because Shawn Michaels did it. Punk kicking out?
I didn't like Punk kicking out.
No, because that was like...
But it just became a thing
but then again,
you just had to
Punk
keep topping it.
Is awesome, so, you know, and he's just awesome in general, or was. Brock Lesnar kicking out? Really?
Well, it makes sense because he's such a tank, but...
And then Undertaker does this, and we're thinking, okay, it's over now. He's going to do it again, and it's going to be over.
Yeah.
And then Lesnar grabs him,
F5.
throws him down, and pins him. And, like, I didn't even count.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, like, what's the point of counting? It's not going to happen anyways. So I was like, and then...
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it happened. I thought it was a mistake, or like people had sort of seen it wrong, or reacting
when
wrong.
it happened, I was like, what? And then I actually had to look up, and I said 21-1, and I'm like...
But it took a while for that to flash up on screen. Initially there was a lot of confusion. A lot of people were like, oh no, you know.
Yeah, something was wrong, like there was disqualification, something would have to pop up.
Yeah, and then
But
I looked on the screen and Heyman was like,
yeah,
like that, and I thought he was doing that because he was like, oh, that was so close, he almost beat him. But no, he did beat him 1, 2, 3, and it was, yeah, surreal. I mean, when the 21-1 came up, I just couldn't believe it, and then Lesnar, his music hit, he walked to the back, he was celebrating.
It took a while though.
It took a long time, and then once he actually went backstage, there was a guy behind us who went, well, he's gone backstage now. I guess this is real. Is it people? And then a woman was like, well, they can't go back on it now. And people thought even up to a few minutes afterwards that something was going to happen, that it was going to be reversed.
And then the Divas came, and nothing was going to happen.
It was just and he took a long time to get up. And usually, to me, it seemed like he was selling it, but we just heard reports or rumors that he'd been taken to hospital and has been suffering from concussion-like symptoms. So hopefully he's okay.
I thought it was the ribs, but yeah. For a second, I actually thought like, is Brock Lesnar gonna do the tombstone? No, he can't do that. He can't do that. No one else is allowed except for Kane, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like, Kane, why? Really? Brock Lesnar, like, before, like, when we ordered the tickets, I was thinking WrestleMania 30, streak is gonna end, and we're gonna witness it. And I was thinking that would be kind of cool. Undertaker is one of my absolute favorites. I didn't want the streak to end. I don't want him to retire. But he only shows up a few weeks before WrestleMania. He's done, more or less. He only shows up for WrestleMania. That's all he's got.
Exactly.
The only thing he's got is the streak. If the streak is over, he is over.
Yep.
And so I have mixed feelings about it. Yes, we witnessed something historic that will always be remembered. And
sadly,
we're the ones that were like,
yeah,
along with 75,168 other people, or how many there were.
Yeah.
But it's over, and not only is it over, but he lost it to Brock Lesnar, who I never ever liked. And now I'm just like, of all people.
I don't know. For me, I just don't think that Lesnar really loves the business and loves the wrestling business like other people do, and so for me,
he can't even do a freaking promo. I mean,
I
does he
almost
even know how to talk?
I almost feel like it is wasted on Brock, but
It is.
But I don't know. I mean, people have been saying now Brock's going to go on to win the title and stuff. I guess I could see that happening. I don't know, but the thing is, I don't even know what the thing is.
I gotta say something though.
The thing is,
before the match started, Brock looked really sad. He doesn't usually look sad. He's just got this,
I didn't know.
like this bull look on it. You know, it's like.
I mean,
smash.
they did a great job. I mean, they rolled out the 22 caskets on the stage. That was awesome. Had everyone's name on it, including Brock for 22-0, and it just seemed like it was so set in stone. So it really was the most unexpected thing that could ever happen.
Nobody knew.
No.
If he didn't know, nobody knew, because he reads up on stuff.
It's unbelievable. I never would have thought that they'd do that, and that obviously the Undertaker's the guy who kind of runs it. I mean, his own thing. He's such a legend that they could say to him, "We want you to go out and lose to so and so," and if he doesn't want to do it, then he doesn't have to do it because he's the Undertaker. So obviously he handpicked Brock to beat the streak, and I just want to know. I wonder why. I think I'm coming to terms with it in that it's like Brock Lesnar is such a beast, a tank, that he was a very viable threat logically, physically. So that makes sense. But it's just a shame that it was not really a great match. It was predictable, it was brawl.
Big Show is big.
It was just like a slow brawl.
Couldn't they just have done him?
It was just like, well, it wasn't even a brawl, it was just like a slow match, and then chokeslam kick out, and last ride kick out, tombstone kick out, F5 kick out.
I would rather see him lose to Randy Orton.
And they even did the whole Hell's Gate spot where Brock Lesnar reversed it by picking the Undertaker up and kind of slamming him down. That was cool, but then they just repeated it, and it was like, oh, there you go, doing it again. And it's just, there's something about the match, live anyway at least, that wasn't that exciting, and
the crowd was very quiet too.
I don't know.
I remember going, what's wrong with you?
I just feel like in the build-up, maybe if they'd said something like, not only is the streak on the line, if Brock wins, then Taker has to retire or something, or if Undertaker had said himself, if I lose this match, then I don't know. It just seemed like no one was prepared for it, so it wasn't even, it was like you were saying, when Lesnar hit the 1, 2, 3, well, got the 1, 2, 3, and it was over, it was kind of like a 1, 2, what? It was like an anti-climax. Well, I mean, it was definitely going to be an anti-climax anyway, but you're right, it wasn't built up. It wasn't, everyone was like, oh, 1, 2, oh my god. It was like, oh.
You didn't expect
yeah,
it.
It seemed...
You wanted to go 1, 2,
I mean,
2.
obviously I'm looking forward to watching the show back, like, you know, the TV version, not... So I want to see how, you know, how the announcers or the commentators were talking about it.
Yeah, what they were saying.
And how the crowd sounds on TV as well. I'm sure it's different. I mean.
And I want to see their reactions because I've seen a few pictures and they're hilarious.
Yeah. So.
And I had that exact same face as well.
Yeah, it was nuts. So there you go. That was that, and then the whole Brian thing was awesome. What really capped off the night for me was we were walking back to the hotel and. You know, wrestling fans everywhere, and you know, I was just hearing them talking about it and stuff, and digesting it.
And that kid.
That kid. That's what I was going to bring up. We're waiting to cross the road.
Canal Street.
By the traffic lights in Canal Street, and this car just passed quite slowly, and the window rolls down. This little kid, couldn't have been older than 7, just stuck his face out, and he had a really mournful, kind of sad look on his face. And he just looked at me and Connie, and he said, "I'm sorry for you. The streak is over." It was brilliant. I just thought it was like he was genuinely sorry for us.
Yeah.
Like if the car had been like.
I don't know if he saw my Undertaker T-shirt.
Yeah, I think he just saw that we were wrestling fans, but.
Yeah.
I think if the car was static, he would have gotten out and given us a hug because he just, you know what I mean? The look on his face, he's like, "I'm sorry for you." The streak is
sure
over.
he was sad too, you know.
You know. But yeah, I mean.
My deepest condolences.
But the show overall. You know, I mean, I've seen people. I mean, the internet exploded about it. Obviously, I saw on Twitter people saying,
it's all over.
People were saying, "Oh, I rate it 1 out of 10, worst WrestleMania ever, Brock Lesnar, blah blah
you know
blah."
What?
And then there's a lot of people saying it was one of the best WrestleManias ever. It's interesting because we were there live. It's a completely different experience. Like, our seats were good. You know, they were better than we thought they were going to be. They weren't fantastic. I mean, you know, it was difficult to kind of not look at the screen because you get a better view of what's going on. Particularly during some of the multi-man, like the tag team matches, and you couldn't quite see past all the people, but I thought they were great seats.
You know what?
Right by the entrance, we had a really great view of the whole arena, and we were pretty close.
Even if I watched this on TV, I wouldn't consider this a bad WrestleMania.
No.
Because the way it's been building up for the last few months with the Bryan thing, it seemed like it would be the worst ever.
Well, yeah,
but
it was definitely.
not only did he get to beat Triple H, he got to beat Batista and Randy Orton. And the last match with Randy Orton and Batista was actually pretty freaking amazing.
Fantastic match.
And
Very
the
well
opening
worked.
up match, or actually before even anything started, was with Cesaro turning face, which was also awesome.
Yeah, that was really good. The four-way tag team match was good.
I always thought he was face because it's been so interactive with the people.
Yeah,
stuff,
the whole
you know?
weekend people have been loving him. We've seen him around a little. We saw him at the Superstore doing a sign-in. We saw him right up close at the Hall of Fame and stuff.
Where he was like, "We."
Yeah, he was great at the Hall of Fame. We haven't talked about the Hall of Fame. We'll do it another time. But
Yeah, and
even the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was really fun. I thought they had some good spots in there, and it was worked really well with Cesaro.
yeah, and then he won again,
Yeah.
and that was great.
And how can you forget the opening? Hogan coming out, Austin's music hitting.
Was amazing, and then Rock.
And then Rock. I mean, it was just like.
It was so great, and
Amazing.
it's almost like the Silver Dome thing was planned.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan kept saying Silver Dome twice,
So
and people were booing, and then going Super Dome,
Super Dome.
and then he's like, blah 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 blah, Super Dome, and then
I'm just so excited, brother.
Steve Austin comes out and he corrects him, and then Rock does
And then
the
the
same
Rock
thing.
poked fun at him as well, but it was brilliant and really like pretty much the 3 biggest draws in the history of wrestling, you know.
And then there was a few like backstage things with Piper.
Some great backstage things. They had the 4 guys from the main event of WrestleMania 1, Paul Orndorff, who I got a signature from Access, Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, and Mr. T, who was there for the Hall of Fame. And then they had Pat Patterson run in just for a quick second. He had like the old referee attire on, and Pat Patterson actually refereed the match. So I thought that was a really nice touch. And yeah, it was overall. I thought it was a brilliant show. But
It was really short.
It wasn't short. It just flew because I think we were so. I mean, it was a 4-hour show, and we were there like for a bit of the pre-show. Anyway.
Well, it was 3 hours of WrestleMania, really.
No,
if you
4
don't
hours.
count the first.
4 hours.
Didn't it start at 7?
Yeah, 7. Oh, yeah.
7 till 10. It's 3 hours.
No, it started at 6. The official start time was 7, but we're an hour behind in this time zone. So it did start at 6 and then finished at 10 for us here in New Orleans. Anything else? I remember when the RKO spot with Daniel Bryan through the table, and I started the holy shit chant, and you were like, oh, well done, you started the holy shit chant.
I'm pretty sure that you started it.
So that was cool.
But that was, I think it was only our section that actually joined.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, the place is so big that literally sections would start different chants, and it was quite.
It's so big that once.
But the
if somebody in the middle starts, maybe it will be almost synced. But if we start, and then they get it, and it will be like, yes, 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 yes. And I was trying to watch all the hands, you know, a lot of bare arms, you know. But I'm trying to watch everything to get it synced as good as possible.
The yeses were amazing, and the crowd was pretty good. I mean,
my throat hurts.
My throat hurts too.
Not now, but right there, it was breaking all the time. Started itching.
There was a lot of people in a couple of the rows in front of us who were just sat there pretty much the whole time, not really moving their hands or cheering or anything, just kind of sat there, just watching the screen. And I don't know. It's like when you go to a film and like a comedy film in the cinema and people aren't laughing and you feel like you can't laugh sometimes, do you know what I mean? That feeling where you're like, oh, no one else is laughing, I don't want to be on my own. So
I decided not to care.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. So, WrestleMania, it was awesome. We got Raw. Oh, yeah, we got Raw tomorrow night. Hopefully the Undertaker will be there, but if he's in the hospital, then maybe not, I don't know. But that's still a rumour at this point, I'm not into, but it seems legit from what I've read up on it. But it would be nice for him to get a send-off, because, I mean, as you were saying at the beginning of this little...
Did he even turn around? He didn't turn around,
He didn't turn around either. I mean, if he had a concussion, maybe he was just out of it and was just like, right, I got to get out of here because something's wrong. But yeah, it'd be great if he could be at Raw tomorrow and they have like a big send-off. I mean, Austin's in town, The Rock's in town, Hogan's in town. They could have all the legends come out. Shawn Michaels is in town. Triple H
Ric Flair's in
Triple
town.
H, Ric Flair. I mean, they could almost get like a lot of his old opponents out to kind of give him a send-off. And
imagine Shawn Michaels came out and just kicked Brock Lesnar in the face. And then Stone Cold gives him the stunner.
For me,
and then the pedigree.
I just feel like Taker losing the streak could have gone to someone young who could have just benefited from it for like 20 years.
I would have been happy if Diva did it. Anyone but fucking... I hate you! You know what? I wish that he would even have like the brains to know how YouTube works so he could watch this video so I can tell you personally, I hate you. Thank you. I just had to get that out of my chest.
Yeah, I feel like... I just feel like what has Brock really got to gain from this? Not much, really. I mean,
he's just gonna go.
He's a part-timer who gets paid millions to do like 8 shows a year or whatever it is, and he is an attraction, but I just don't see him really benefiting as much from it as other people would. So it's an odd choice for me, but I'm sure Taker has his reasons.
Well, I hope those reasons are good, because the only time I've ever found Brock Lesnar entertaining in a good way was when they did that Trouble Trouble song thing with his scream. Now I'm lying on the cold hard ground.
Anyway, moving away from that.
I think we should just round it up now.
Yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to say about Brock.
He's a big, fat, ugly baby. His face turns more red than ketchup.
Yeah, I feel like the streak really, before tonight, was like more important than the WWE title. It was like such an important part
It's always been more important.
Not always, no. It's really only the past 5 or 6, 7 years that it's really become such a huge deal. And you know, like the highlight of every show. And so I just feel like if he's going to pass it on to someone and give someone the rub, it should have been someone else. But it's happened now. There's nothing we can do about it, and just I'm sure we'll just move on and just know that we were there, and we got to witness one of the biggest victories in WrestleMania history, Daniel Bryan, and probably the biggest loss in WrestleMania history, Undertaker.
Well, it is, but I don't know. When Shawn Michaels lost and retired, I actually cried.
True, yeah, that was a bit
I was
more.
so shocked.
That's the thing, yeah, because after this, it was like Undertaker was just lying there for ages, and then it took a long time to get up.
Well, he had to wait until Brock left before he got up.
Even then, it took a very long time. People were chanting like "speech" or "speak," and
he didn't do
he
anything.
Well,
he didn't even acknowledge the audience. It looked like.
Yeah, and he just kind of got up and slowly left, and it was a bit.
There are articles online saying that they screwed him like Bret Hart and stuff. That he wanted to kick out, or that he was so out of it and so tired that he couldn't kick out.
Ridiculous.
Because Brock Lesnar is so big, and that Vince McMahon is gonna fire Brock Lesnar.
No, that is absolute.
That he changed the script and everything.
Absolute horseshit.
Well, not as much horseshit as Brock Lesnar winning.
I know. Right,
okay, we gotta stop now.
Yeah. But
I am thrilled about the whole thing.
Yeah,
like WrestleMania, it was amazing.
We got here, we're near the end of the whole thing now, and I think it's pretty appropriate to call this series of videos, yes, trip of a lifetime, 'cause it really has been. And just tonight was just like an experience of a lifetime. And
I will never, or I will probably, but I hope that I'll remember for as long as I can my reaction when I walked into, like, and I saw everything, and I saw the WrestleMania sign, and my mouth was open the whole time walking down to the row, and I started with like row 40 or something. I'm like, oh my god, we got to go so close, compared to where we started off and just walking down the steps and getting closer and closer, and I'm like, should have filmed my reaction when I got in, because it was breathtaking. It was so huge. And sometimes I had to, because I was watching the screen all the time, because I couldn't really see that much. I was wearing my glasses the whole time even. But it was, there's so much, you can't really see much anyways. So I was watching the screen and I was like, okay, they're actually there. Yeah, that's it, yeah. And looking around, and I had to like get into it again because I wanted to keep the excitement up.
Yeah.
Not that I lost it, but you know.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different experience because like you're so far away from the ring, and when they're like chopping each other, you're so used to hearing that, on TV, but you just couldn't hear that at all. Yeah. You couldn't hear like them shouting when they were like none of that. You could just hear like the ring.
Right. And you don't hear the commentators
no commentary
either,
well, so
and that's kind of weird because it's so quiet.
But yeah. And finally, there was something else I wanted to say.
We, the people.
Oh, here we go, yeah. I mean, I grabbed some of the confetti and just put in this little bag. The confetti from Daniel Bryan.
I got some too. And it's the colors of the WrestleMania.
It is, yeah, and I got the ticket in there. I'll probably get like a nicer plastic bag than this.
Did you mention that?
What?
I saw 2 confettis falling down.
Yeah, I
mentioned that's when you knew.
If it's still in the video.
I shouldn't have said anything to you.
I know, yeah, but I thought there's no way they could have ended the show with Batista or Orton winning after The Undertaker, because people would have been so upset with the whole thing. I mean, I think that was the only thing that could really make people leave, with a kind of, happy note after the That's probably one of the only things they could have done. Is to have Daniel Bryan win the title.
I'm kind of impressed actually that Batista agreed to tap out. Batista.
Yeah.
Well done, you.
Indeed. And it was a surprise.
You know how to tap out.
And it was a big surprise to me that Bryan beat Triple H clean, 1, 2, 3, no interference. Just beat him.
Well, yeah, and then Triple H and Stephanie. Oh, jeez, she slapped him so hard.
Yeah.
But he just went. In her face. I love the grin on his face. It was amazing, but you could tell she really slapped him hard, like 4 or 5 times until Triple H came in.
Yeah. Alright, well there you go. We're gonna go to sleep now.
Yeah. So late.
Have a much deserved lie-in tomorrow, and then Raw.
And then pancakes first.
Pancakes.
I got free pancakes.
Oh yeah, you got free pancakes. Alright then.
Okay.
Oh, and this whole thing might be, if you're still watching this by this point, this might be a little wonky because the camera's on the TV stand, which is like, so, I don't know, I can't really tell, but...
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just sit like this.
Good night.
Good night. Or good day.